Hello again. Welcome to my channel. This is the fourth part in this series, and here for today, we will be talking about the top time management tools that I have used or I will recommend to business owners, to startups, to business owners in general. These tools have actually helped me, and I've used some of them personally, or most of them personally. So I'll give you my recommendations. Do understand that none of these are paid advertisements. They're really not. But I really want to make sure that in this channel, I'm very honest, you know, to the best of my abilities. So let's go right into it. I'm going to be looking here. Just do know that I'm trying to make sure I cover my pointers so that I'm not just talking just all over the place. Do have some structure to my thoughts because sometimes I could just, go out there talking. So the very first tool or time management tool that I use um, is basically tools for calendar and scheduling, right? So I do use Microsoft Outlook and I do use what we call Calendly. We also have a lot of other people use Google Calendar. Those people who are familiar with Gmail and things like that. A lot of them use Google Calendar, but I personally, I'm an Office 365 lady, so I use Microsoft Outlook and Calendly, and they've been helpful. Microsoft Outlook, I basically use their calendar and I integrate that with Calendly. So Calendly is actually a tool that you can actually send to people. You can have that on your signature in your email. You can have that when you're doing your post on LinkedIn or your social media accounts, so that if people want to schedule a meeting with you, they can go in there, click on it, and they will be able to see all the availabilities you have on your calendar and see the days that you are also booked so that they can schedule a time to meet with you. So that's the benefit of Calendly. I use that a lot. I use that a lot. I use that. My assistant, whenever she's posting on LinkedIn and whatnot, that's what we use. And people go on there, see my availabilities, and go ahead and schedule. Right. My Outlook, Microsoft Outlook, is just the way I organize my time, so that whenever anyone is trying to schedule or book anything on my calendar, they know exactly what time I have available. For example, just like I was saying, in order to achieve goals each and every day, because trust me, the day to day goals is what piles up to your quarterly goals or your monthly goals, right? So, in order to do that, you must be able to block out time. I do have other people that work for me. I do have other people that set meetings for me, that does cold calling for me. We'll talk more about that as time goes on. That does email marketing, cold emailing, warm emailing, whatever you call it, that do that for me. And it's very important they know what time I'm available, right? So if I go ahead and leave my calendar all open, right? Even though I do accept days I have meeting, then when I have assigned or designated days that I do want to work on strategic planning or business planning or quarterly goals or marketing plans or sales goals, right? If I don't have that time blocked, what's going to happen is that the other people that work for me to make sure assist me in bringing businesses will schedule times on times that I intend to allocate to other things that can help me scale my business, right? So that's why it's very important to have that time blocks on your calendar so that people know, hey, for the next 2 hours, she's going to be focusing on this, right? So that's the main reason I use my Microsoft Outlook calendar. Other tools that I use that are needed, um, or you need, is for task and project management, right? There are tools to help you manage tasks. If you're like me that do have full time, not full time, but have employees and have consultants and freelancers working for me, it's very important you're able to track and manage their task, right? I normally one I wouldn't call it free version, but it normally comes with the business standard, is I use the SharePoint task tracker a lot to track what my employees are doing. I create tasks on there. We would basically identify which one is high, which one is medium, and which one is low. That's a free version. Another one that I've used is Monday.com, right? Some other people use Asana, some people use Trello. Trello is more like visual boards, mostly if you have something in more of the development design kind of services. Trello is usually a good one for that because it helps you manage projects, helps you take card based task management, and it's a very collaborative future. Monday.com, I do like it a lot for project management, right? I do have businesses in the government space, and I also provide services in the commercial space. So if you're somebody that does a lot of federal government contracting and stuff like that, Monday.com is beneficial because it's more on the cheaper scale compared to a lot of the more expensive tools, project management tools like Jira, and all of that, right? So sometimes, like I personally use like Monday.com for project management when I'm managing tasks, from outsource or consultants or 1099s to manage project for my federal government contracts. Okay. For time tracking and productivity tools, some of the ones that I've heard that people use a lot is something they call Rescue Time. I've never used it, but it actually helps in productivity analysis. Another is Toggle. It actually guides you in time tracking, reporting, and for timesheets, right? I haven't personally used those tools. What I use to track my employees' time and all of that is QuickBooks. I used to use ADP a long time ago, but that's more on the expensive side. So now I just use QuickBooks. I wouldn't say honestly right now. I can't wait to get to a certain level so I can probably use other tools because QuickBooks personally is not as effective as I would like it to be. Honestly, just on my own personal, I kind of liked ADP, but ADP is more expensive, right? So, and the advantage of QuickBooks is it actually helps also in account management, which we'll talk about later, about managing your cash flows and understanding your profit and loss and your balance sheet. Because as a business owner, one thing you must be always reminded of is the amount of money that comes in and out of your business. You must understand your profit and loss. A lot of us business owners, that's usually not our sweet spot, right? We rather focus on every other thing about bringing money, but forget that you must look at the money that is coming in. How are you spending it? Are you in the red at the end of the month? It doesn't matter how much money you're coming in. If you're spending more than you're bringing in, that's a problem, right? So, thinking of those. Another aspect or another tool that I use, which is more in the line of communication and collaboration, I personally use Microsoft Teams. However, in the IT industry, because of how secured, right? Because we're dealing with a lot of personal data, we're dealing with a lot of sensitive data. Most times, for external meetings, I use the Zoom link. I use Zoom for external meetings. For all internal meetings, I use Microsoft Teams. So within my employees or everyone within my organization, or I don't care whether it's 1099, all of that, I use Microsoft Teams for collaboration. Some other companies use Slack. Slack is another good tool that you can use for instant messaging, file sharing, and just channel based communication, right? You can also use that for Microsoft Teams. So I personally use Microsoft Teams for my internal meetings and internal collaborations. And then I use Zoom for my video conferencing, screen sharing with external users. Okay. Um, Now, that's basically some of the tools or time management tools that I use to make sure I'm effectively managing every other aspect of my life or every other aspect of my business, to make sure things are flowing. Please leave in the comment below what tools you do recommend or what tools you found helpful. My goal here is that other people can read the comments and also learn. I really want this to be a learning channel, an honest channel on things that I've used that have worked for me. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.